patrons, it's our behind the scenes piece for you. Today's episode was on wrath. The last thing I said as we were going off the air was I find it easier to write wrath than to write pride. Maybe because pride is more nuanced, and maybe because I don't think there's anything wrong with pride. I have a hard time assigning that as a bad quality, but I do think that anger, and unchecked wrath, can maybe drive a plot a little bit easier than pride. What are your thoughts on having a character who is consumed by a revenge plot or by wrath? At what point does the character see the light or come out of it?
It depends. It's supposed to be a hero or a villain. The hero comes out of it when the other guy's dead or in jail.
When they've finished their mission, completed their mission.
Right.
I think once they see what it has cost them, right? Once you see what the anger has cost you, and we mentioned this with Michael Corleone in the show, when you see what your ambition has cost you, people will come down from it or they'll back away from it sometimes. So I think that's probably the place. As you're writing a character that's got wrath, I don't know that you need to punish that character, I would find a way to make them aware that they are singularly focused on this thing.
It depends on how far you're willing to go. I mean, there was that TV show, Revenge.
Yeah.
My wife showed it to me, right? It should have ended with her being in prison. It went on for 5 seasons, and her actions got worse and worse and worse, and they went back and forth. But really, that woman deserved to be in prison, not having a happy, happy ever after ending.
Well, you've got to raise the stakes. I mean, it's got to go. So if it starts out, if the wrath-filled vengeance thing, whatever, starts the beginning of the book, they've murdered somebody, right? That's as far as it goes, right? Like, that's the highest possible level. You've taken somebody else's life. So now what's going to happen? Now, is it a matter of covering up the crime? How do they keep people from finding out that they've done this? How do they silence the potential, leaks that could come out and reveal them for what they are?
That would be a good book, is you getting your revenge and completing it halfway through, and then the rest of it's you trying to cover it up.
Oh, I think it should start from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. When we think about like House of Cards, right? In the Netflix series House of Cards, what we think is going to be the worst thing that this guy has ever done happens pretty early. It's like episode 3. And when he does it, you're like, and then he spends the rest of the series trying to keep other people from finding out that he's done this.
When he throws the girl off the roof?
When he throws her off the train, in front of the train.
Oh.
Yeah. And spoiler, right? But after it happens...
I never actually saw the Kevin Spacey one.
Then after it happens, you kind of think somebody's going to figure this out. And then several episodes are these close calls where somebody starts to sniff around and he has to figure out how to stop that person from going any further. I think it's compelling.
We see that in the first episode of The Shield, too, with Vic Mackey. He has to shoot the other policeman in order to save himself and his friends.
Yeah.
And that follows him all through 7 seasons.
So I think if you're going to create that extreme early on, then the rest of the book or the rest of the whatever you're writing has to have various levels that never get to that place again. Like maybe that character is haunted by that thing they did that was the worst thing they've ever done, and they can never get back to that place again. Like they have to convince themselves, I have to try to manage this so that I don't end up rage-filled again or whatever. All right, good discussion today. Good topic. We're enjoying the 7 deadly sins. Next week, we'll be working on envy. So thanks for being patrons of the show. Thanks for supporting us. Y'all have a great weekend.